All right, everybody, we're live. This is me, Gene, and I've got Shannon and Joe.
What's going on?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
And this is Brawler Bash 12 list review. This is really the 12th Brawler Bash.
I know it's one of the oldest tournaments in the U.S. I think Buckeye is 13, and then Brawler is the next oldest.
That's fantastic. All right. Well, let's get into it, I guess. Anything to say about this before we get going, Shannon?
Just for those watching, Brawler Bash is 4,500 points, standard rulebook scenarios. The only thing that's a little bit different is we're capping the roll to go first at a +3 to encourage people to drop back and forth a little bit more. The lists were cut off before the most recent Warrior and Demon update. So the lists that you'll see are from a few weeks ago, not this past weekend.
Oh, so we're not using the most recent Warriors, and
right. We had to cut off the deadline like May 18th, I think it was.
Okay. Huh. Surprising. All right. Bet I didn't see any demons based on that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started then. First thing we have is Beast Herds. And I redid your sheet so it's unreadable, so if that helps.
Yeah, I'll be posting all of the lists on the Ninth Age forum after this video, so anybody can go take a look.
Okay. So we got Ben Jones. Let's take a look at this list. What's he got? A Soothsayer, 2 Cyclops. Ben Jones. Wow.
And he's got a beast giant and a Jabberwocky.
Yeah, he's got 4 monsters.
It's a lot of monsters.
His biggest unit is 22 with a mongrel horde and 20 from a wildhorn herd.
Yep.
Wow. That's an interesting list.
And he's got the 2 chariot wizards.
Yep.
And his BSB has a bolt thrower.
Yeah, I kind of think Ben was maybe setting up to counter demons with the divine shooting on the Cyclops and the bolt thrower on the Centaur. and he's very heavy on magic defense with double binding scroll and a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is heavy defense, isn't it? Wow. Okay, I have not seen the Cyclops run.
They're pretty popular in the UK.
Okay.
They're pretty good. They're not seen too much here. Maybe Ben can show everybody how to use them.
All right, and then Chad Hogan, Once Bitten, makes his return. I think the last one he played at was a year ago.
Like 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Moves toward Warlord. That Agar's Affliction's the one that gives you +1 toughness
and regen.
Or something else, right?
No, that's
just
there's
+1 toughness and regen.
Yep. So he's T6 4 up regen.
Oh, but he gets no armor save.
Right.
Okay. Beast Chieftain, Fatal Folly, Soothsayer, Carvings, Big Herd of Wild Horns, 2 Giants, 2 Vortex, and 2 Razor Tusks.
It's a great list.
That's
gonna run over people.
It is a smash mouth list. It comes straight at you.
Yep. 8 Wound Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the Big Brother.
Yep.
That's right. Yep.
3 Chaff and then 2 Gortox.
And he ambushes in the 2 throwing weapon wild horns.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 2 characters on chariots too. The Shaman's kind of a dick with the ancestral carvings, the Trickster's Cunning with Shamanism attribute.
Oh yeah.
So you
have to reroll the wound on a 5 up. Yeah.
Wow. That is interesting. All right. That's a good list. Pete Reese, all the way in from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Engineers is General. 31 clan marksmen. Seekers, Brothers of Vengeance, artillery, organ gun, cannon. Light on artillery.
Well, he's running two units of seekers, and then the cannon and the rune-crafted organ gun. What more do you want from him?
Oh God, I don't want to play him.
With engineer support.
Yeah.
Seekers eat my spiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those 3 seeker characters are going to eat some stuff.
Yeah. Wow. So he's got a Vengeance Seeker, 2 units of Seekers, and 2 big Seekers. Wow.
Just one big unit of seekers. The other one is the Vanguard and Skirmish.
Yeah, there's still 9 of them. They'll still eat stuff. They'll still take down a giant, right?
Yeah, they'll also slingshot out those Dragon Seeker characters with some.
Yeah, I think their delivery system more than anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. 3 Dread Elves. There's Taylor. Divine Altar. Repeaters, 20 repeaters. Not a ton of shooting.
Two big units of dancers, and they're kind of a pain in the butt in close combat. Especially with div buffs.
Dancers are the old
Gladiator sisters.
the witch elves, no?
No, the other ones. They have a 4 board save in close combat.
Oh,
4
yes.
board save and weapon master. Yeah, I see Chris as kind of, getting bubble scry off turn 1 and then trying to get those dancers into combat turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ira Knight. Welcome back, Ira. Dread Prince. Culprit Priest. What's he got? 4 Raptor Chariots.
He's also got an Oracle on Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Guys want a dragon. But he's got 4 Raptor Chariots.
Yep.
He's got a Medusa. I like the Medusa. 6 Dread Knights with the Banner of Blood is good. Any of his characters on a Raptor? No.
He Ira's list. I had the fortune to play it a couple of weeks ago. His list is all about charge angles, which is something Ira as a player is really good at, is lining up combo charges. And he's pretty good at getting the dragon with a chariot or 2 helping into a unit. I would definitely watch out for it.
I'm surprised he doesn't have champions based on that. In the Dark Raiders to go soak up a challenge.
Yeah, he's playing. I mean, he really had no command at all except for the Dread Knights. So
The only other issue I have is that he's taking cosmology instead of taking occultism on the dragon, because occultism is just a better lore overall than Cosmo is, and you get the same healing in occultism that you do in cosmology. So
yeah, I get where you're coming from there. Although he did make pretty good use of ice and fire against me.
Were you playing Sylvan Elves?
I was playing ogres.
Oh, okay.
Still did very well.
Yeah,
With it.
Ice and Fire is great against Sylvan Elves.
Yeah.
And then Joey and I had the displeasure of getting rolled by this list a couple nights ago. Cold Priest, 2 units of Spearmen, and big unit of the Dread Judges, big unit of Dread Knights with 2 characters in it, and 3 Dread Reapers.
Interesting that Joey doesn't have a divine altar.
Yeah, he decided he didn't want to go with it anymore.
He's still got some Cult Priest.
Yeah, and he brought in
on the Dread Reapers, I guess.
Yeah, he's got that Wizard Master Witchcraft, which is tough.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. Yeah, because he's got the Dread Prince and the Cult and the Oracle both go in the unit of Raptors. So it hits hard. Of course, the Dread Judges kill stuff, anything I own. Anyway.
Does the Lucky Charm on Irish Dragon work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bear's model.
It's only one time on.
Yeah.
What's it got? A 3-up?
3-up.
Yep. 10. It's a good 10 points though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
What's this? Joey. Oh well.
You
It's
put an
Joey
F
again.
in.
We'll skip that one. Ken Stubbs. Good to see Ken back. Like to see Ken playing. He's a fantastic guy to play. Knight Commander, Electoral Cat. Three Riders, right?
He's got the Inquisitor.
Yeah, with the Hammer of Witches.
I will tell you, the Inquisitor will shock people at what it can do. It killed the dragon. I watched him and Ira play actually, and the Inquisitor killed the dragon.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's ugly. Big Imperial Guard block. Yeah. That's a solid list.
You sound so surprised.
Alright. That's good. He's got a volley gun, of course. God, those things are great. 3 High Elves. 3 of each of the elves.
Oh, that's cool.
No Sylvan Elves, though. To make up for lack of Sylvan Elves, I guess. Karnreg Tower, Mage of the Fiery Heart. On a dragon.
The alchemy.
15 Sword Masters, 15 Flame Wardens. 15's a little light on Flame Wardens, but...
Yeah.
Alright. He does have a dragon.
He does have a dragon.
No BSB though, so he's no re-rolls. He doesn't have
no divination. Yeah.
Doesn't have divination either.
Wow, that's odd. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Oof. Langston, he's coming in with Pete from Texas.
Yeah, he is. Actually, he's coming in with with Pete. That's right.
Okay. Brings us to Matt Abernathy, who has a High Prince on a where'd he go? Ancient Dragon.
With the Nova Flare.
The Nova Flare. Wow. Talk about overkill.
Did he pay for a lance?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I just didn't write it because Nova Flare requires a lance.
Gotcha.
VSB, Master of Karnreg Tower, Smithfield Light Armor, Mage Adept, Talisman of the Void, nothing there. 23 Flame Wardens with the Becalming Banner. Knights of Rima. Okay. So it's it's all about that ancient dragon.
Yeah, and then just soaking up things with the Flame Wardens.
Yep.
I think the Grey Watchers will maybe surprise some people. I don't feel like we see those very often, but they're quite good.
They're good. They're just so fragile to magic missiles. Anyway.
Just like every other elf.
Well, the problem is those cost so much. Makes it worse, I think. Anyway.
That's true.
Paul. He doesn't have a dragon. I got that going for him.
Nope, he's got the Sliver.
He does. Essence of Mithril. Iron Lancers, Guards, Flame Wardens, 2 Reapers, 2 Eagles. This first guy's, Langston's got to get fined. High Elves aren't allowed to go to battle without an eagle, are they?
That's right.
Yeah.
At least one to sacrifice.
10-point penalty.
They're probably running into a shortage.
This looks a lot like Justin Berge's list. Yeah.
Paul has been kind of developing his own variation of that list for a couple of years, and I think his list is way more shooty than Justin's, especially with the Pyro adept. That 17 Queen's Guard unit, that's a big unit of Queen's Guards. And he's got the Queen's Companion that can go in the Queen's Guard or the Sea Guard to give them quick to fire.
Don't Sea Guard already have quick to fire?
Seaguard, I think they do already have quick to fire, don't they? But yeah, it's his list has a lot of shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Navigator banner is the one where they're distracting on the first round.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know I just knocked down cosmology in the last list with Ira's list for occultism, but here I like Cosmo over Pyro because then you have double +1 strength spells with favor of melodies on those flame wardens.
Yeah, but
And that's a really nasty combo.
He can flaming swords. I mean, that's basically the same as +1 strength.
Mm-hmm.
So
except for the AP, which
Right.
the flame wardens kind of struggle with the AP.
Right.
All right, that's 3 good high elf lists. Kelly's bringing Infernal Dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
30 warriors, 10 shots there, 3 at Torak Anointed, 23 disciples of Lugar with a rending banner.
And a
Yep.
train.
And he's got the Chosen in the unit too to give him scoring.
Right. Actually, the Chosen guy on his own gets scoring, doesn't he?
No, only when he's attached to the disciples.
Okay.
Yep. So you've got 23 unbreakable scoring disciples of Lugar.
Yeah. Hold the center. He's pretty good at that.
And the occultism guy can give him a 3-up ward save. The chosen, and then the disciples get a 4-up. He can also give him the toxic breath weapon, which will the way that the ember thing works means that it's all their close combat attacks, including special attacks, become flaming. And with the ring of desiccation, makes you flammable, so he can toxic breath weapon you and reroll to wound.
Reroll to wound with a flaming toxic breath weapon.
Yeah, that's great. So you run into the Dragonbane gym, and you're like, gosh darn it.
Well, it's only a 3-up ward?
The Dragonbane's 2-up ward.
Yeah, the weak spot of that unit is it has no range defense at all. When I played Kelly at Battle Cry, I was able to focus fire the disciples and shoot about 15 of them off in one round.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, and then the volcano gun, which is just the flame.
Right. So Kelly really wants to avoid Paul's list because the amount of shooting Paul has.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Chris Moore with Kingdom of Equitaine.
I really like his list. He's doing something that I haven't seen in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
He's got
Lots
lot
of
of
cowboys.
lances. A lot of lances and a couple of naked paladins.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Yeah.
And he doesn't have the super lord, so it's different.
Yeah, no, he kept his character points fairly low, except for of course the 2 extra paladins. But I mean, 36 Knights in the Realm.
Right. But he took none of the virtues. None.
Yeah, he's kept them cheap.
Wow. He didn't fall into the Banner of the Last Charge trap.
Plus, he's running 2 trebs.
That's an interesting list. Be interested to see how he does with that one.
I always like I made a list last year with the paladins, like how you can run 4 paladins with shields, give them questing oath, and the bastard sword or whatever it is.
Right.
And they're like 200 points for 3 strength 5 attacks with a 1-up armor save, just running around with questing oath. They're great little holders to get your lances into position.
2 yeomen for chaff. I don't know. And then this peg knights are chaff too. It can be expensive, but yeah, I'd be interested to see what he's got. Only an adept of divination though.
Mm.
So he's got the magical heirloom, so he does have 3 spells, but wow. Yeah, that's tough. At that point, I feel it's almost why bother taking one.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully it'll work for him. Ogres. Brandon, Mammoth Hunter, Wild Heart List. BSB, Master Shamanism, Binding Scroll, Tribal Tusker, 2 Rocks. That's interesting.
Yeah, Brandon's really relying on his rocks pretty heavily. Because I mean,
Yeah, he's probably
outside,
got 3 hunters too.
yeah, but he doesn't have he can't fight big blocks like orcs and goblins and so forth with anything there except the Tuskers.
Mhm.
He's really leaning hard on the rocks, and I think if he runs into an opponent that can take away his charge, then he's going to lose. This is Brandon's list is very charge dependent.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's got a grudge match game 1 against Gray, who's you'll see later in the Warriors of the Dark Gods has a pretty interesting list.
All right. Jeff Shea also has them. Ogres. He did the general as the shaman. Con BSB. Frost Mammoth Rock. Mercenary Vets with Plate and Swift Stride.
And reroll 1s.
For the banner. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have. Okay. Yeah.
See, now, I like Jeff's list a little better than Brandon's because he has 5, I would even say 6 combat units. I mean, the Mammoth is a little bit weak, but,
Right.
2 Tribesman blocks, a Merc block, a Tusker block, and a Rock. That's 5 hard-hitting combat units, and all 5 of them benefit from the Mammoth aura.
Right.
Yeah, it's big block hammer. The thing I like about Brandon's list, and like obviously it's an extension from like Ryan Caps's list last year at Mountain Mayhem, is the movement shenanigans he could pull with the hunters. So he's got 3 vanguarding hunters that can then go another 14 inches, so he can control the board a little bit more.
I don't think Brandon took leader of the pack on any of them.
Oh, it's a free upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, it changes the base size. So
I'm sure he did.
You take a 50 millimeter base instead of a 40, and that's how you pay for the upgrade.
Yeah, I think because that's how he's been playing it in the stores with the leader of the pack upgrade with the bigger base size. So that's why he has his 3 saber cats, so they all have vanguard.
Oh, you know what? I'm verifying he did take it, so that was just left off of my thing. I'll fix that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes that list a little bit better.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Only 2. Oh, 2 more ogres. Lee Hall. Common. Wrestler's Belt. Bombardiers. 3 units of 3. He's got a cannon, rock, and a giant. I played I played ogres for a while. I'm not so thrilled with the bombardiers anymore.
So I think what Lee's done is he's taken the list like Brandon has and just flipped it around, and instead of running tribesmen, 3 blocks of tribesmen as scoring chaff, he's running little 3 blocks of bombardiers instead.
Right.
And he's also managed to pick up a cannon, which may come in handy. There is actually quite a few things here that a cannon would be good against. Some of those volley guns and so forth.
Yeah, I agree. Cannons. I like those cannons. And there's a lot of monsters in this tournament.
Yeah, just look at the next list.
Triple giant. All right.
Triple giants. This is your ringer list?
This is, yeah.
Currently we have 25 24 and you, right?
Right. So, if everyone shows up, then I get to relax.
Okay. And what are we doing for the ringer? If they play you, they get what?
If I'm playing, it's paired like normal.
Okay, so they don't. There's no lower points they get.
No, there's if there's a buy, then we have some rules for that. But
Okay.
as far as the ringer goes, the ringer's not necessarily paired against the bottom table either. It's paired like in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So, but hopefully I won't have to ring. I'd rather just walk around and enjoy watching games. And this is not a very kind list for a ringer anyway.
2 Stratopulse is ugly.
Yeah.
And 2 Stratopulse and a Wrath of God.
Yeah.
All right. Orcs and Goblins. Casey has a Force Goblin King as his general. Guy on the spider, okay?
Well, that spider's worth a lot of points if it goes down.
Yeah,
Holy
especially
cow!
with the crown and the general, it is
Yeah.
a ton of points.
That's what that's over 1,000 points.
Yeah.
He's 1,000. He's 960 plus the cost of the crown. Whatever that is, I think it's 80.
So what is he base?
Well, the Goblin King on a Gargantula with a great weapon is 560.
560. So
Yeah.
960 plus so 1040 or
Yeah.
1030 if you can.
1030.
Right.
But he has a huge aura of discipline. What is it, 9?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an 18-inch, 9.
18-inch, yeah.
An 18-inch on top of the Gargantula base.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh, that's a good point. That does extend it a bit further, doesn't it? BSB on a Scuttler spider. We're out of battle.
He's got 2 spells.
He's naked.
3 spells.
He has an apprentice with an heirloom, and he has 2 bound spells.
And 2 bounds. So he's got 4. That's not bad. More than it originally looked like.
Yeah.
But no channel at all.
Mm-mm.
Lightning Band braces in the route of battle. Okay. 47 common orcs. 32
Green tide.
cave goblins with bank maggots. 10 common trolls. 40 gnashers. 2 wrecking teams. 3 chariots.
So, Gene, all I can think is that Casey has seen some of your battle reports where the trolls are out of the general's leadership bubble, and he's made sure that that won't happen to him.
Yeah, by giving that huge bubble.
Right.
Yes, I would think so. Wow. That's some pretty hard-hitting stuff. 40 Gnashers are tough. Anyway. Alright, in my list, it's close to what I've been running forever. I got 2nd Gargantula and got a Witch Doctor in.
Yeah, you dropped the trolls and got another spider.
Yeah, and a Witch Doctor out of it. Because I wanted to get Witchcraft back in my list. So, other than that, it's pretty much what I've been playing. Trolls are just too... I got tired of babysitting them all the time. So, anyway. Keith, ooh, that didn't come out well. Saurian Warlord. Oh, this list is annoying. 3 Cowboys.
Yeah, his Warlord's got a 1-up, 5-up with 4 wounds. And he's got 6 attacks at strength 6. Means he hits weapon skill 3 troops on 2s, rerolling 1s, and ignores parry. I love that guy. He's great.
Yeah.
Yep, and that Dragonfire gem is going to help him out, I think. And then the BSB has got the 1-up rerollable with AP6 weapon.
Yeah, AP6, sorry.
And then the other Saurian veteran has a 1-up 4-up.
Wow. Yeah, and then a huge unit of Source Warriors.
That's where the Skink Priest goes. And
Pararaptor Riders for scoring.
2 units of Chameleons, 2 units of Pterodons, and 1 Engine of the Ancients.
Yeah, it's a good list. What's he got for magic?
He's got the so the Sun Tablet gives him all the spells of Druidism.
It gives him access to all the spells Druid does.
Right, so he can choose. Yeah.
And he gets an extra spell for being on a palanquin.
So
So
he gets 3 spells plus the heirloom.
So
Okay.
it's 4 spells, 5 spells with Oaken Throne. So
yeah,
it's solid.
Okay. Yeah, it's more than it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
James Smith, Vampire Covenant. Necromancers as his general. Master of Alchemy, Master of Evocation. Fire Brotherhood of the Dragon, Monster Hunter. Ghouls, 33 ghouls, 26 skeletons. 5 Vampire Knight, and 6 Spawn.
It's a lot of magic.
It's a lot of magic.
That vampire also flies, so you gotta watch that.
Yep.
He'll probably, if you're chaffing the Vamp Knights, he'll just fly out.
Yep.
He flies because of
Spectral
Spectral
Steed.
Steed.
Spectral Steed flies, okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's got the 2 banshees for his ethereal chaff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can also pop them in the skeletons to make them semi-decent.
Mm-hmm.
Semi-decent.
Mm-hmm.
Vermin Swarm. This guy, Dennis, doesn't have a Vermin Demon.
Nope.
No, but he does have 2 A-bombs.
2 cannons and 2 A-bomb. Those cannons are going to be busy.
And he's got 3 rotary guns, too.
Yeah, and 5 Giselles.
Oh, and a meat grinder. Oh, that's cool. That's a lot of shooting.
It is?
The only thing I'd be worried about is I don't like the weapon teams without a Vermin Demon. I don't like Giselles for the same reason. Is because you're only leadership 6 on those units.
Right.
Since they don't have any ranks.
And your general's only got an 8-inch bubble. I mean, a 12-inch bubble.
12-inch bubble. Now, the weapon teams can use the Vermin Guards if they're all within 3 inches.
Right.
But, you know, that's kind of limiting where your shooting can go.
Wait, the pendulum
Doesn't he get an
doesn't make the
18?
bubble 18?
No, it's not gigantic.
It's not Towering Present?
It's gigantic, gives you 18. Towering Presence just means you can see over other large stuff.
Yeah.
It's tall for large.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I do like the chief with the potion of strength.
Well, he doesn't even have stand behind.
I know, but we all know how good that potion of strength can be.
Yeah, I've gotten killed by it.
Yeah.
I made fun of that guy I played up at where did I play him? Up at Battle Cry, because he took it on a ogre hunter.
Mm.
So I laughed at him the whole time until he pulled it out and squashed my DSP.
That's
Anyway.
funny.
Todd's got a Vermin Demon.
Mm-hmm.
Plays Patriarch. Yeah, okay. 2 Dreadmills, 2 Plague Catapults, 4 Giselles.
Joe, this list looks a lot like the list you were running.
Looks really familiar.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, looks
Not
he swapped
exactly
core a
the
bit.
same, right? But
Well, all he did was he dropped 1 unit of foot pads to beef up the Plague Brotherhood, but other than that, it's exactly my list. Yes.
yeah.
That
Really?
I took to Battle Cry. Yeah, I just dropped 1 foot pad unit.
Okay. At least it wasn't a cut and paste like you did in the last tournament.
Might not be insane like me and have 40 foot pads just lying around. Mhm.
This is a really, really solid list, though. Even if I think yours with the extra unit of foot pads might be a bit better, this is a really good list.
Yeah, it's solid. It's very effective. I love those little Plague Disciples. Other than it's kind of scary to play. Just you have 1 dedicated combat unit, which is the Pendulum with the Brotherhood, and then everything else is just designed to go kill small elites.
Those plague catapults are going to ruin some people's days.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully his hit, because mine actually didn't do anything in the 2 tournaments I've taken them to. They typically just miss or break. Pretty typical.
Yeah, that's a good list though.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors, Alex Schmidt. There's another returning player.
Mm-hmm.
Dustforged. Fordias, Doom
So the Chaos Lord's got the burning portent, so
Yep.
he's gonna gut some monsters. He gets the 1 round that gives him +1 attack, +1 strength. The Doom Lord makes those
And he's
7
got envy, so
Forsworn
he's
stubborn.
so that envy is reroll ones as well on that.
Yeah. When he charges, rules once to hit.
Yep.
hmm He's got occultism for Veil Walker, which is nice, and then he's also got the Adept of Alchemy for rerolls to wound with the burning portent.
Yeah.
And then he's got the big barbarian unit to feed the Ledger of Souls.
Yep. And the big thing is those Forsworn are awesome with spike shields. They sit there with a 2-up and just bounce hits back at you. And the Doom Lord does all the killing.
And he's got the Hell Maul, so he can put something in your flank round 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Only one gateway. Oh, he purchased one gateway.
Yeah. So turn 2, he can move into it.
All right. And there's Gray's list that you were talking about, Shannon. General Evasion, Veilwalker. 2 Chimeras. 4 units of 6 chosen.
With Envy and Halberds.
Oof.
And then 2 Hellmaws.
Hellmaws.
Yeah, so those chosen units, he runs them 3 wide. So that's 75 millimeters wide. And they have 18 attacks.
With Swift Stride.
With Swift Stride, yeah. They have Swift Stride, reroll 1s to charge, reroll 1s to hit, Strength 5, Agility 6, Weapon Skill 6. I mean,
5 but 6 on the charge, right?
Yeah, okay. They're murderous.
Yeah,
they're great.
And with the 2 Hellmaws, he can basically put them wherever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And then, of course, he has the Zealot Banner Warrior unit, which has got, like, a crazy number of attacks with great weapons at Agility 5.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's playing Brandon's list in the first round?
Yeah.
That Rock needs to roll good for impact hits. That's all I can say.
Well, see, I kind of figure that the Rock, the problem Brandon will have is Gray's chaff is faster. With the 2 Chimeras are just chaff. But they're like March 20 chaff.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. And what is this? Phil Carl.
Oh, I know, right? He's gone Feldrake.
Source. Phil Carl. That's odd.
Those Feldraks, that's, what is that? 24 tough 5 wounds. That's
Each
solid.
of those Feldrak units.
Yeah, advance 8 Swift Stride.
Yeah. 1 big warrior unit, and then the Feldrak Ancestor that gives him Blessed Inscriptions. So he's what, 7 strength 7 rerolling to wound divine?
Yes.
Mm.
The risky part of Phil's list is no rerolls. Only his Sloth Warriors have a reroll on Discipline. Everything else in the list, there's no Discipline rerolls at all. The Ancestor treats everything that's not a Feldrak as insignificant. But, you know, he's going to run into trouble if there's panic checks or if he does lose combat.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Feldraks are strength 5 base?
Yeah.
Okay.
4 attack space, so 5 with paired weapons.
5 weapon skill? Oh, 5.
I think their weapon skill is lower than that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're
5 attacks. Got it.
Oh, I think their weapon skill 4, but with paired weapons gives them 5s.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, it's they have supporting attacks like Ogre, so it's only 3 from the second rank. So he's looking at 21 attacks if he runs them 3 wide.
24 with paired weapons, right?
It's 15, champion 16, and then 9 in the back.
Yeah.
So 25.
That's a lot.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of strength 5.
2 Chimeras.
They hit almost as hard as mercenaries, but not quite.
How armored are they?
3 up, right?
I think they're 4 up. I think they're armor 3, so that make them 4 up.
Yeah, 4 up.
Okay.
Just double check.
Wow.
But it's going to be the discipline test that could cause him problems. He doesn't
They're
have any.
only 5 up. Sorry.
Yeah, he has
No, 4 up because they have light armor.
no rerolls and at all. A failed march test could really be a problem.
Yeah, full command in those though. So. Yeah.
I believe Skaven and AZ is running a pretty similar list to this right now.
It's a cool list. It's very big, blocky.
It's small.
Yeah. I mean, just his actual combat threats are.
Model count wise, it's small.
Yeah.
Is what I was thinking.
Well, he's still the Spelldrags have 24 wounds in that unit.
Right.
So
That's true.
He just has the 3 scoring, right?
just 3 scoring.
Oh, that might be a little bit of an issue for him.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That was all the list.
All right.
Who's the early favorite in this nonsense?
I'm gonna go Keith.
Think so?
Keith. Yep.
That's a good list. I like that a lot.
He took Sweden's list from last year and kind of rounded out the scoring instead of going triple stag with it, so it gives him a lot more flexibility in shooting. So, I think that's a pretty tasty list. Pete Reese, I think, could be a nice outlier.
That's what I was kind of looking at.
Because he's got the tools to take off the big monsters with the organ gun and the cannon and the seekers. And then he's got a lot of chaff clearing with the warriors and marksmen. So,
right.
I really like his list.
I don't know. That Skaven list that Todd's running, I think that'd be my choice.
Well, the problem is if he runs into cannons, the pendulum has no place to hide. And that's your main combat unit. So that's at least what I've found.
The double dread mill is going to deal with the monsters. The double catapults are going to deal with the big infantry blocks. I feel like he's got tools for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He does. I think Joe's right as far as that goes. The cannons are the only thing he's afraid of, and there's not that many cannons in this tournament.
Yeah, there's 2.
Yeah, well, there's 2 right beside it. That would be bad if this is not a good matchup for him, I don't think.
Actually, that would be a terrible matchup for Todd's list. It's just like, oh, I got 2 lightning cannons. I got all these rotary guns to take out your footpads and your plague disciples.
Yeah,
and he's got master witchcraft to put twisted effigy on your vermin demon and will o' the wisp to make you run forward at him. So
yeah. So that's his worst matchup. I think is the other vermin swarm army.
The dwarf army would give him fits. Pete's army?
Good. I'm going to go with Pete. Pete's my guy for this one. Because I like this list.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Slayer, yeah. Those guys, these 2 Dragon Seekers just kill things.
Yep.
Anyway. All right. So this is this weekend, right?
Yep. In 5 short days.
Wow. That's right. It is already Monday night. Great.
Should be a good time. Bummed I'm missing it. I'll be in France this weekend.
That's no excuse.
Our boy John Gaddy's getting married.
Oh, I forgot. John Gaddy was the guy getting married. So, yeah, Ryan last week, John this week, you earlier.
Yeah, me a month earlier. Everybody's growing up.
It's so sad to see all my kids growing up.
That's right.
All right. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, I guess.
Yep. Look forward to seeing you guys or seeing Eugene in a week. And Joe, you coming to Buckeye?
I will be at Buckeye.
All right. I'll see you guys then.
Guess we'll all be there. All right. Good night, guys.
Sounds good. Good night.